You really have spent years fighting for this. You gave up a distinguished career. How do you feel today?
It's a vindication in one aspect, but we know that the journey is not done. We have a lot more that we have to continue to fight for. When I go back into the military, I'm going to want a non-discrimination policy. And for this president to not push for a non-discrimination policy or to strip it out of this compromise bill that was passed, I think is incredulous. We need to keep fighting. This is not the end. This is just basic training.
You have been very disappointed in political leaders across the spectrum, including this president, who you thought was going to lead the charge and who I'm sure would like to have credit for leading the charge, but you don't feel he did.
As all politicians do. They love to take credit for everything, but I don't credit any politician today. I credit all of the soldiers who have stood up and broke the law in order to get this done. And that's amazing that we're even saying this. The soldiers should have to come up on TV, that they should have to go get arrested, they should have to protest, become activists, when they're trained not to be activists in the military.
This was a difficult thing for you to do as well, the idea of saying, you know, you were trained to follow orders, to aggressively say, I'm going to disobey orders at the highest level because I think it's right.
We were trained in military obedience, not civil disobedience. So it was very difficult for me to make that transition, to even call myself an activist. And the fact that we had to was the greatest shame of this entire journey, that our politicians failed us. And for as long as it lasted, said, be patient. Wait, don't criticize. And it is not our job as soldiers to rise up against the system, but sometimes we had to do that in order to fight for the meaning of this country.
I don't want to dwell on the political side of this too much, but you've even voiced the idea that you would like to find a Republican to support in the next election. Why would you want to do that, and what's important about that to people who are concerned about gay or lesbian rights?
Why should I endorse President Obama? I think the question is fair. Listen, I'm not a vindictive man. I am not vengeful. If I was vindictive, then I would say, President Obama, if you want my endorsement, then I'll just have a study about that. We'll have a comprehensive review working group, and then we'll get you fired, and then we'll start to talk to other people. We'll allow a platform for everybody else to hate on you.
And I get your point here that over and over again, that's what you feel like you've heard is delay, delay, delay. Even this, I mean, I must say, isn't it amazing that you finally reached this point and it's still 60 days before this will be in effect?
I think we would be very smart to remember what Martin Luther King said about waiting. For black people in America, the word wait was a familiar term. It always meant never.
He had a famous book that said, Why We Can't Wait. That was the title of it.
And we cannot wait. As soldiers, as anybody who's learned in basic training, when you have a fight that's worth fighting, you pour your soul into it. And as far as President Obama goes, I think he should listen to the leadership that some of our soldiers on the ground and in the streets have proven in this journey. Leadership is not based on political positioning or rank, status, or paycheck. It is not about personal gain, but it's about being part of something that's greater than you. And when these soldiers go back into the military, they should be honored and dignified to the point where they get fair treatment, that their partners and their spouses can get legalized recognition, that American flag that comes to the spouse, that doesn't go to a fake wife or a fake husband, but it goes to the actual lover, the person that dignified and supported that soldier throughout their life.